Your girlfriends are going on a trip and you didn't get an invite? Let them. Your partner traveling to somewhere cold and rainy but refuses to pack a jacket or raincoat? Let them. Haven't been invited to the work party after drinks? Let them. This week, I want to share with you a really cool tool and reframe that I learned from the Mel Robbins podcast, which is called the Let Them Theory. And basically, it is this theory that whatever is you're trying to control. So, for example, my partner left today to go to Oregon. It is cold, wet, and rainy. I knew all of those things. I said, hey, go down and get your long underwear. You're going to need them. Go grab some wool socks. They're super important. You might want to bring a rain jacket, and don't forget like a fleece. Like, let's talk technical fabrics. Sat on the couch. She was like, I don't want to go downstairs. I don't want to go to the storage spot. It's too much, too messy. I'll be fine. Everything in me wanted to force him to get up and go because I know I'm right. He's going to be cold. But instead, I put this theory into practice. Instead of trying to control him, instead of trying to figure it out, instead of trying to ruminate and get stuck on why or why not he was choosing to pack or not pack his long underwear, I practiced what is basically the law of detachment of let them. The really interesting thing that happens when we put this tool into practice is that first we start to let go of how we think things should be. This is something that we run up against. Ego, intellect, the part of ourselves that keeps us safe, that tries to manage our own life, and everybody else's around us often thinks that there is a way that it should be. For example, if you go on a trip, you should have your car booked. You should have a restaurant booked. You should have an Airbnb booked. You should at least have a few different things. But then maybe you meet a good friend, a family member, maybe even your kid is like, I'm going to go and I will figure it out. Everything in you is like, that's not right. That's not the right way to do it. Those are our own expectations. And a lot of times when we come up against that of really trying to force somebody to do something or having it be a specific way, we are asking people to live up to our own expectations and are also trying to be in control. Control often comes from a place of fear and can masquerade as us trying to be helpful. So with me and my partner, I'm trying to be helpful, but really I was just trying to be controlling. The moment that I said, I'm just going to let him do whatever it is that he wants, he'll have to deal with it, suffer his own consequences, be in his own decisions. It's not my business. It's not my issue, not my pig, not my barn. One thing that happened really helped to clear up a lot of psychic mental space. Instead of being worried about what he would or could or should or what he could do, instead returning that power of sovereignty to ourselves. It's the law of detachment, of acceptance. I accept what is. That person, for my partner, he is a lot more go with the flow. That is the way that he is. And it's not fair of me to try and put my own expectations, and impose my own will. What I know to be true is when we are in this place of trying to control, because so much of our life can feel out of control, that it often causes collision, misunderstanding. It also causes us to make a lot of assumptions about other people, about their intentions, and get into a lot of story. For example, one of the stories that Mel used was talking about, friends going to brunch and not getting invited. Our feelings are hurt. We could get into a lot of rumination about why and what's going on and the stories and this and that and Melissa and Courtney and blah, 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 and why and all of it. It's exhausting. It's not going to get us anywhere. It's also not going to bring us peace. And the moment that we allow somebody to just be themselves by really checking our expectations, what are my expectations? What are my standards versus somebody else's? We can also just give them peace in who it is, the way that they are. I even think about, again, my partner and I have very different styles. I can be very direct. I really be very head on when it comes to different conflict. And he has a very different way of navigating. One's not better or worse, but he can take a lot more time and be a lot more, I don't want to say passive, but has a really super different approach. I remember one time when it came to a friend of his that is, that was just being kind of a jerk. I found that he was being kind of a jerk. He had some successes. His friend didn't celebrate or congratulate him. And for me, I found that very miserly. And I got all upset. I was like, you need to say something. You really need to say something that you hurt my feelings. That is my approach. And he listened to me and he was just like, I'm going to kind of do it my own way. And I really had to practice letting go and saying, I trust that you'll figure it out and you'll do it the way that you want to. And sure enough, lo and behold, way later, they had their own conversation and this friend ended up offering this congratulations and this support in a very different way. Now, is it how I think and what my expectations and what I believe and feels good to be a friend? No. But is that mine to control, manage, figure out, or judge? No, not my friendship. So when we can start to have this practice of letting people, instead of trying to control the situation, because basically when we're trying to control something, it's like trying to stop a river, right? We'll just be constantly trying to plug the holes and hold back the water, and it just will never, ever, ever work. Oh my goodness. Hi, I'm Sonia. I'm a fourth generation intuitive, and I teach you how to plug back into your innate divine self. So definitely hit subscribe. I release videos every week, applicable tools. So going back, when we let go of how we think things should be. We open up to presence. We open up to different expectations. We open up to surprise, which not only allow our spirit to lead, but also allows us to not waste energy, time, and attention, which happens a lot. I know that when my little ego intellect is a rotisserie chicken on a spit around whatever expectations, instead of just allowing, it can sometimes cannibalize me, has in the past. So just first notice, bring your awareness, right? That may have hurt my feelings. Before I go and get triggered into story, pause, right? I'm going to pause, bring my awareness, and I'm going to just choose to let them be who and how they are. And then I'm going to practice some self-care or do something different, change channel, right? When we give people permission to be who it is that they are, it creates more intimacy and connection, our relationships. It also can show you who you are, who your friends are. You can tell by your actions. So if you're continually not invited to brunch, to different things, maybe they're not really your friends. And then you can make a choice and decide what's true and in alignment for you and what feels good for you instead of trying to control the outcome. Now, a few things of when the let them theory doesn't apply, which is really important. One, your boundaries. What is your true yes? What is your true no? If you have a boundary around, somebody speaking to you respectfully, that is a boundary. People are not allowed to attack your character. You're not going to let them walk all over you. Another simple way that I also really loved from Mel Robbins was not letting people dictate what they're going to pay you. I think she cited that in a Pew study, I feel like over 60% of people who take on new jobs just take whatever money is given to them. And really, that's a place to advocate for yourself. So think about the place where you need to advocate for yourself, where it is around your value. Now, this practice of letting them also helps us redevelop a relationship with our own anxiety. And instead of getting into the rotisserie chicken of a spit of overwhelm and overthinking, it lets us address and get underneath that instead of having to fight or grapple with it. How much more can we allow? How much more can we just let people be who they are? And how much can that actually help to fill our own cup and create more connection, safety, could instead of constantly criticizing around often what are our own projections. Like I said, my partner has a very different style. Sometimes I can be caught up in getting irritated or annoyed. And I'm also just having to recognize for myself of adjusting my own expectations, clearing off my own lens, and being like, that's just the way that he is. And for me, trying to control or change or whatever is actually a way that I am not appreciating who he is as a spirit and as a person. So, and this actually has been a really good lesson from my partner too. He definitely predated Mel. I mean, like, Sonia, whatever, doesn't matter. So this week, practice let them. And I will also link this podcast below. It was really great. I really loved this reframe, and this energy of letting and allowing and letting go of control will not only give us more spaciousness in our lives, but also will then allow us for more support, for more guidance, for more of our own energy, attention, help superpower our manifestations. Didn't get the job promotion, got passed over by another person. All right, let them. Maybe the universe has something even better. So really, I love this. I'm going to practice this so hard this week. And so I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you. Definitely check out my website, soniatully.com. I have tons, tips, tools, things to help support you on your journey. Check out my family podcast. And as always, come visit me on Instagram. Send me a message. I love to hear from you. So I'm sending you all my love, and let them.